When you look at the gaming industry today, you'll see hundreds of studios around the world developing games for the current generation of hardware. With the Xbox Series X and the PS5 getting released by the end of this year, big companies like Activision and Bethesda are aching to get their hands on the new dev kits for both of these consoles. If you follow any of the gaming press, something that you might notice is they only ever seem to talk about things like hardware or the next big game title. And yes, I agree that the capabilities that these systems offer on the hardware side of things is pretty impressive. But the technology and the software behind actually building these games themselves seems to be something left for developers and not the average consumer. And there is a very good reason for this. There's not many gamers out there that have an active interest in how these games are built. Mostly they're just concerned with the quality of the gaming experience. And media companies know this. However, the quality of the experience that these games offer is directly influenced by the software behind building it. In this video, we're going to talk about the Unreal Engine, and why the game engine used to build the games that you play is more important than something like the hardware capabilities of the platform that you play them on. After id Software released Doom in 1993, they decided to license their Tech 1 game engine out to other game developers. This led to a ton of FPS games getting built that were all basically just run-of-the-mill Doom clones. But in 1998, a game called Unreal was released. This game was insanely popular, and was listed as the #1 selling game on PC Data's computer game sales chart that year. So why was this game so good? And what made it different from all the other current FPS games on the market? Well, it has to do with the fact that it was built using a completely new game engine called the Unreal Engine. If you're not totally clear on what exactly a game engine is, it's essentially a collection of source code that's used to build a game from the ground up. Presented as a 3D editor, it has built-in tools used for things like sculpting landscapes, building geometric structures, and importing pre-made game assets. In 1995, Tim Sweeney started writing the source code for the Unreal Engine after being inspired by the release of id Software's Doom and the capabilities of their Tech 1 game engine. Tim Sweeney's goal was to create something that would set a new bar for the graphical capabilities of the current generation of video games. It took Sweeney 3 years to complete the game engine, and when he announced it alongside the game Unreal, it was a huge success. The Unreal Engine had many features that previous game engines didn't. Things like collision detection and 16-bit color. In an article written by GameStop, id Software's John Carmack said, "I doubt any important game will be designed with 8-bit color in mind from now on. Unreal has done an important thing in pushing towards direct color, and this gives the artist much more freedom." Following the success of Unreal, Epic Games released many more game titles utilizing their game engine. When they released Unreal Tournament, they included a level editor for anyone looking to create their own multiplayer maps. This was one of the most popular aspects to the Unreal game series, something that Epic Games quickly took note of. They went on to release Unreal Tournament 2003 and Unreal Tournament 2004, both of which utilized the second version of the Unreal Engine. With the success of Unreal Engine amongst game developers, Epic Games wanted to make it more accessible to everyone, whether you were a large-scale game studio or not. They decided to build a free version of the engine, and they also released a YouTube training series along with it. This free version was called UDK. Released with a wealth of documentation and resources, UDK gave indie devs all the tools that they would need to create AAA quality game titles with a limited or no budget. Unreal Engine used something called UScript, which is a coding language that Epic designed specifically for game development within Unreal. It's based on C++, and allowed programmers to build in-game events without the need to do in-depth coding. In addition to UScript, UDK also included a scripting tool that lent itself towards non-programmers that was called Kismet. Kismet was a node-based visual scripting tool that made it so game devs that didn't have a background in coding could create complex gameplay elements right there in the editor itself. Something as simple as making a door open when the player walks within a few feet of it would typically take up to an hour while being neck-deep in code. Kismet allowed this to be done in a matter of minutes. This concept of making game development accessible to everyone is one of the biggest ways that Unreal Engine influenced the industry. With the release of Unreal Engine 4 in 2014, Epic Games made the tools that were only ever used by large-scale studios available to whoever wanted them for free. Now, you might not think that that's a big deal if you're not a game developer, but this actually affects you in a very real way. Good video games come from people with good ideas, And the more people being able to build games and have the tools necessary to do so means that you as a consumer get to experience games that are not limited by big publishing companies. If there's one thing that I want you to take away from this video, it's that game engines are designed to be an extension of a developer's creativity. No amount of teraflops or other graphical buzzwords are going to be the reason that you get a genuine gaming experience. They are simply there to enhance it. Anyway guys, I hope this video shed some light on the impact that game engines have on the industry, and if you want to see more content from Vantage Gaming, be sure to smash that subscribe button. If you have any questions or you'd like to talk more about video games, remember that I also stream on Twitch, so feel free to come and hang out. The link to my channel is in the description below, and as always, thanks for watching.